Tonight, plans to untangle the can of worms hits a roadblock, forcing millions of dollars in cuts to the plans. And felony charges are handed down against two men allegedly responsible for the largest fentanyl bust in Minnesota this year. Plus, a 12-year-old is in custody awaiting charges for allegedly making a bomb threat in International Falls last week.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. Kristen has the night off. Major changes are coming to a multi-million-dollar Duluth construction project after its price tag just keeps growing. The goal of MnDOT's Twin Ports Interchange project, which is supposed to start next year, is to make the messy can of worms interchange safer and easier to navigate. It involves reconfiguring the areas where Highway 53, I-35, and I-535 all come together. But now, part of that work will have to wait. CBS 3's Jenna Wells joins us live from that area with the details. Jenna, why are they making these major changes?
Well, Tony, today MnDOT announced that the cost to redo this interchange behind me would be $100 million more than what they originally budgeted for. And MnDOT says that's money that they just don't have right now. So some of that work is going to have to be put on hold. The original project cost came in at $343 million, but today MnDOT officials said it's looking more like $443 million. MnDOT officials blame that rising cost on the fact that the engineers are constantly learning more about what needs to be done as the project advances. So they've decided to scale back. That means the work planned on the Highway 53 bridges, those are highlighted in blue, and the I-535 and Garfield Avenue reconstruction, highlighted in green, will be deferred until MnDOT can afford it. That leaves only the main can of worms interchange, highlighted in purple, as the project's focus for now. Pat Houston with MnDOT says that they have to stick to their original budget. He says it's difficult to meet all the costs when they're constantly learning new details about what needs to be done.
When we go and do the detailed engineering, we learn a lot more. A lot of utility replacement as a result of building alongside Lower Michigan Street and moving a gas line there. And none of these things by themselves are insurmountable, but it's everyday things add up that are underground that we didn't know about when we budgeted this job.
Houston says it's not possible to know how long the deferral will last until some sort of funding is secured. But now he says it's possible that this major construction, originally planned for 2023, could last a lot longer in some parts of the area.
Definitely a big undertaking there. Jenna Wells live for us in Duluth tonight. Thanks, Jenna. Meanwhile, that construction is expected to have a significant impact on the Lincoln Park neighborhood. Many businesses have been planning for a hit, which will now last longer due to the deferred components. The Highway 53 viaduct that leads into Lincoln Park will remain as is, while the construction on the main can of worms interchange continues. MnDOT has no estimated time for when the entire project will be finished, mostly because it all depends on funding. Shannon Lang with the group Main Street Lincoln Park helped organize a meeting between business owners and MnDOT to discuss the changes. She says they recognize there will be impacts on traffic, finances, and infrastructure in the area, but understands MnDOT is doing all they can.
This is a huge project that very much needs to be done. And the folks in the neighborhood, and I think in Duluth as a whole, realize that it's a project that needs to get done. And we would just like to see it done in the most expeditious and fiscally responsible manner that it can be done.
Lang says her group is working together on plans to make it easier to navigate Lincoln Park during the construction. Dave joins us now for a quick look at the weather. Dave, nice weekend, but you got a lot moving into the area, huh?
And we've already seen some action, too, some ice here recently that made sidewalks at least slippery, continuing to do so today. Well, tail end of a low-pressure system is continuing to bring a rain and snow mix to the region overnight. It's an occluded low, which means the system's wrapping around itself, choking itself off. And that low, we're not going to have to hassle with too much, maybe through some morning mixed showers continuing till about 7 o'clock in the morning. Then a good chunk of Tuesday should be cloudy but calm with a temperature near 30 degrees. But once we get into the late afternoon, snow showers start to build in. That's the advanced elements of a new, bigger low-pressure system that could pack a punch here especially in Wisconsin on Wednesday. We'll show you the latest snow charts that show who's facing watches and warnings here coming up in a couple more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. 2 men have been formally charged in connection with the largest fentanyl bust in Minnesota this year. 35-year-old Raymond Bowser and 29-year-old Denzel Hale were formally charged Friday afternoon. Bowser has been charged with first-degree aiding and abetting drugs. That's a felony. He was also charged with misdemeanor fleeing an officer on foot. Meanwhile, Hale has been charged with felony drug sales. Now, this comes after authorities seized 80 grams of suspected pure fentanyl powder on Thursday. Authorities say that amount is enough to kill more than 26,000 people. Both Bowser and Hale are expected to be back in court in mid-December. A 12-year-old International Falls Middle School student is in custody in connection to a bomb threat made on November 18th. Authorities say the boy was arrested on suspicion of making threats of violence that would normally be a felony charge for an adult. The Koochiching County Attorney's Office has determined that a delinquency petition will be issued. County officials say the petition is a juvenile version of an adult charge. The boy is currently being held at a local juvenile delinquency facility. A woman has died after she was hit by a car in Duluth's East Hillside neighborhood. It happened just after 6 this morning on 6th Avenue East and 9th Street. Police say the 42-year-old woman was walking in the middle of the road when she was hit. She later died at the hospital. Police have not identified the victim or the male driver. They do not believe alcohol was a factor. A controversial conversation over plastic bag fees could finally come to a vote tonight. The Duluth City Council is expected to discuss the Bag It ordinance. The proposed 5-cent fee on single-use plastic bags aims to encourage shoppers to bring reusable bags in order to cut down on plastic pollution. The problem is some business owners feel the council is overstepping and should not mandate how businesses manage their bag use or charge their customers. Amid all the back and forth, the council is also trying to get clarification from the state's Department of Revenue on whether the fee could include an additional sales tax. In 2016, they stated a plastic bag cannot be taxed. We're expecting more discussion on the ordinance tonight, but it is not clear if a vote will happen. We'll have the latest right here at 10. St. Louis County is looking for your input on community development. The county is trying to figure out how to prioritize services like housing, parks, and removal of blighted buildings. That's among other services. There is a survey that people who live outside of Duluth can complete by December 31st. The information collected will be used when applying for funding. You can find a link to that survey on our website. Elk is on the agenda at tomorrow's St. Louis County Board of Commissioners meeting. The board will discuss reintroduction of elk into the Cloquet Valley State Forest. The Fond du Lac Band recently studied the issue with the University of Minnesota. It looked at the effects of reintroducing elk into several forests around the region. One county board member wants the Cloquet Valley State Forest withdrawn from the project. That's due to potential negative impacts on deer population, area farmers, and public safety. The board will discuss the proposal during tomorrow morning's meeting at the Arrowhead Town Hall in Brookston at 9:30 in the morning. A Minnesota senator visited the North Shore today to talk about the needs in rural Minnesota communities. Senator Tina Smith visited the Vanilla Bean in Two Harbors for the discussion. Business owners and local government leaders asked the Democrat about community issues. Topics included how to keep an active workforce, developing more housing for that workforce, daycare, infrastructure, funding for new businesses, and health care.
I'm proud to represent all of Minnesota, especially small towns and rural areas, and I really do believe that the best ideas for what works are going to come from people in the community and not from Washington, D.C. So that's where I get my ideas, and that's why I want to be here. Plus, the leadership in these communities really inspires me.
Senator Smith also visited Grand Marais this afternoon. Former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg is spending a record-breaking amount of money to announce his presidential bid via a new TV ad.
He could have just been the middle-class kid who made good, but Mike Bloomberg became the guy who did good.
We cannot afford 4 more years of President Trump's reckless and unethical actions. He is an existential threat to our country, to our values, and our national security.
Bloomberg did announce that he would run his campaign on Sunday. Today, he hit the campaign trail in Virginia, taking aim at President Trump. Still to come on Live Local CBS3, CWD numbers are in for Wisconsin. More details coming up.
Today's high temp was 38 degrees, warmer than normal by 8. will cool down a bit as the week unfolds, and that'll kick up some snow. 2 big snow chances coming around this week. We'll talk about when they'll hit and the break in between coming up after our break.
Live, local, CBS3 News at 6 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS3.
I love that one.
I love it.
I love it.
It's easy to fall in love with a new Chevy.
I love this one, too.
And this month is the perfect time to see why.
Wow. I love it.
That's my next truck.
Find your reason to fall in love with a new Chevy and get a great deal all month long.
I love it. I'm going to go buy a Chevy.
Get 20% below MSRP on all 2019 Silverado double cab pickups. That's over $97.50 on this Silverado. Or during the Black Friday sales event, get 20% below MSRP on other select 2019 models.
Feel your devices come alive. Speeds from 100 meg up to 1 gig. Stunning streaming video. Unbeatable power. Wi-Fi on blast. 99.9% network reliability. 100% incredible. Switch to Extreme Internet 100 today for $34.99 a month for 1 year. Call 844-EXTREME2.
All of us at Super One Foods would like to say thank you. Thank you for shopping with us here each and every day and making it a joy to come to work.
You've allowed us to give back to the local communities we serve for the past 40 years. Each year, we raise and donate hundreds of thousands of dollars in support to local charities and food shelves, youth organizations, and various athletic events.
From all of us at Super One Foods, thank you.
We're proud to serve you locally every day with low prices and better choices.
Yes. Come on, say joy to the Don't stop clapping now. Come on.
Happy Honda Days is on now. Unwrap the joy of a new Accord, the best midsize sedan in America, according to Car and Driver.
That's all right.
This was a hate crime. He bombed a bookstore and killed a young woman. Her father is here asking for justice.
Promise me you can do this. The fingerprint is inconclusive. This case is a mess.
He has to pay.
Are you putting people in jail because you're convinced that they're guilty or because the evidence says that they are?
What if I put an innocent man in prison?
A new All Rise, tonight at 9/8 Central on CBS.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Today's chance for a rain and snow mix is really just nothing compared to what's coming our way for tomorrow night into Wednesday, especially for Wisconsin. Colorado low bubbling up towards us here is already threatening to bring a winter storm warning to Wisconsin. That should go into effect about 9 o'clock tomorrow night, stay in effect through noon on Wednesday, and then fringing that for the UP and central parts of Minnesota up a slice of the North Shore here, winter storm watch. Not sure those two zones will get as much, but the possibility is there. And if this isn't enough, after we calm down for Thanksgiving, another chance for a big amount of snow comes around for Friday and Saturday. We'll talk about all these counts coming up in just a bit, but right now, we talk about things that are a little bit calmer. Yeah, the current conditions at the airport in Duluth. It's 34 degrees with a cloudier sky and a westerly northwesterly wind going 10 miles per hour. Barometric pressure already low at 29.47, and odds are we'll stay that way through the weekend with this first low fading, another one coming for tomorrow, and then the third one hitting on Friday into Saturday. Temperatures hitting right now fairly mild, 30 International Falls, 32 for Hibbing and along the Mesabi to Grand Rapids, 36 Moose Lake, 38 Superior, 36 in Silver Bay, and upper 30s from Ashland to Hayward, and upper 30s in the Upper Peninsula as well. Temperature-wise, this week isn't going to go really cold at all. We'll be warmer than normal for the most part, although maybe a week from now, we will start to tumble a little bit cooler than normal, but I don't see any below zero coming our way in the next 7 days. Coming our way right now, of course, that occluded low pressure system is centered right over Lake Superior here, and so it's back into wrapping through the Iron Range areas here, Arrowhead of Minnesota. We're seeing a mixture in green here of rain and a little bit of snow up towards the north, and that could continue for all zones through tomorrow morning. Then we get a bit of a break in the action, and then the bigger Colorado low comes to call again from about 9 o'clock Tuesday night to noon on Wednesday. And snow totals inland Minnesota may not be much, half-inch International Falls, but perhaps 6 inches here in the Twin Ports, and for northwestern Wisconsin, running about 6 to 11 inches there. And again, that's not the only go-around coming around, because after we shake off the Wednesday low, there comes that next one here on tap for Friday and Saturday. Forecast for tonight, that one's showing low temps in Minnesota running from 22 to about 30, cooler inland, warmer by the lake. 30% chance for the rain and snow mix, and a northwest wind will run about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Taking a look at what's coming around for tomorrow in Wisconsin and Michigan, low temps by tomorrow morning should go 27 to 30. And folks there also get a 30% chance for the rain and snow mix. For tomorrow during the day, cloudy day but calm. Then at night, again around 9 o'clock, that's when the snows should begin for Wisconsin and the UP. Tomorrow's daytime highs should be low to mid-30s for that part of our world. And swinging over towards the Minnesota forecast, up near the Canadian border, just a hair cooler, 28, but that's not so bad. Then 30s for the rest of that zone. And again, a cloudy day with snow arriving at night, perhaps around 9 o'clock. And then, of course, the snow hits the fan once we get into Wednesday. It's a 90% chance for that snow. Again, Wisconsin could go 6 to 10 inches. East central Minnesota could go about 4 to 8, and northeastern Minnesota a trace to 3 or so. Thanksgiving, though, calm day. Cloudy but calm, 29 degrees, giving us a chance to have a little food and build up our energy for the next round of snow Friday and Saturday, Tony.
I think that's what we like to call a whopper in the forecast, huh? Wouldn't you know it? Thursday, fine. But those travel days, all the snow in the forecast.
Yeah, you know, and if you had to pick your poison, do you want bad weather traveling or do you want bad weather during the grand event itself? It doesn't really work out either way.
Age-old question.
Yeah, amen.
All right, thanks, Dave. Preliminary results show hundreds of deer have tested positive for CWD in Minnesota and Wisconsin. DNR officials say only 7 deer tested positive so far in Minnesota. All of those deer came from the southeast CWD management zone. New CWD zone 604, which includes the cities of Aiken and Brainerd, has not had any cases. That zone was created after 1 deer tested positive last year. Wisconsin so far has had 408 deer test positive. The state saw just over 1,000 cases last year. Hunters in Minnesota have 2 extra opportunities to hunt deer this year. They're an effort to limit the spread of CWD. The hunts are in 4 permit areas in southeastern Minnesota where the disease is common in wild deer. They're scheduled for December 20th through the 22nd and the 27th through the 29th. The hunt could be expanded pending CWD test results. The Minnesota DNR wants your input on managing the state's wolf population. The department is accepting applications to be on the Wolf Plan Advisory Committee through December 20th. The plan guides how the state manages wolf regulations, population, damage control, education, and research. The DNR wants to update that plan based on public input. The goal is to ensure wolves' long-term survival while addressing human-wolf conflicts. For details on how to apply for the committee, head on over to our website. Kelly's here to talk about sports. Good weekend.
Good weekend for UMD hockey, really all around, especially for the men's team. We'll have the latest on their place in the rankings. Plus, do UMD players eat in the penalty box? We'll have the answer to that question next.
The 2020 Yamaha XTR editions at RJ Sport and Cycle.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Toyota, home of the largest selection of SUVs in the Northland. Visit KohlerToyota.com for 50th anniversary specials.
The season is here. And it's time for our best offer of the year during the Ford Black Friday event. Now, for a limited time, get an amazing offer on select Ford models. Plus, earn complimentary maintenance through Ford Pass Rewards. The Ford Black Friday event ends soon, so hurry in today. During the Black Friday sales event, get over $10,000 in total savings on an Expedition. That's over $10,000 in total savings. Only at your Northland Ford dealers.
The best relationships are the ones that last. Because when you know someone for a long time, you know what they like. You know their needs and their concerns. You know what and who matters most to them. Your healthcare is the same way. When you can count on trust, commitment, understanding, and support, the relationship just works better for everyone. You and Blue.
Last summer, my hernia started hurting, so I decided that I needed to get something fixed. Well, it's made me feel a lot more confident dealing with patients and keeping patients safe.
Kelly Culver, a certified nurse practitioner, brings 6 years of experience and is taking appointments now.
It's the perfect time to explore Duluth's beautiful downtown waterfront district. Enjoy our lights and sights of the season, local shops, restaurants, and entertainment.
This holiday season, buy local at the Electric Fetus. Open 7 days a week at Lake Avenue and Superior Street. Electric Fetus, made in Minnesota.
Shop, dine, and celebrate together in Duluth's downtown waterfront district this holiday season.
Country Blossoms is having a holiday open house. We have holiday decor, kissing balls, wreaths, and more. Plus, come December 1st to see Santa and have a chance at a $50 gift certificate for spring. Visit Country Blossoms Greenhouse.
I did some early shopping this year. One for you, one for me.
I love it. I got us a little something, too.
Yeah?
Yep. One for you and one for me.
I love it.
Oh, actually, that was supposed to be for me.
I love it.
I like red.
Step up to GMC and get 20% below MSRP on this next generation Sierra Crew Cab SLE, or get over $11,000 total value on this next generation Sierra Crew Cab SLT. Visit your Lake Country GMC dealer.
America's Most Watched Network. Tonight, starting at 7, only on CBS3 Duluth. Then, stay tuned for CBS3 News at 10. Find your favorite CW shows on the Duluth CW. Cable, satellite, over the air, and streaming on KDLH Duluth. Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
The UMD hockey team looked a lot like the team that fans are pretty used to seeing this past weekend. It's a series sweep for the Dogs over conference rival Colorado College. The sweep has them back on track and moving up in the polls. They absolutely annihilated on Saturday night, winning 5-0. Dogs are up one spot to number 8 in the latest USCHO poll. And that was announced earlier today. They're also up to second place in the NCHC point standing with 13, just 4 back of first place, North Dakota. That'll be a fun series. The top-ranked overall team in the country, though, is Minnesota State Mankato, a WCHA team. The team that'll be coming to Duluth this coming weekend for a massive series at Amsoil Arena. It's set to be a good weekend of hockey, folks. If you don't feel like battling the traffic this weekend down here in Canal Park to get to Amsoil, we will have both games over on My 9 Sports. Puck drop is at 7:07 p.m. both Friday and Saturday night. Man, what a great weekend of holidays and hockey. The Bulldog women's team also up in the polls after a tie and a loss to the #1 team in the country. Let's preface that, Minnesota. UMD is now up to number 9 in the country. That might sound odd, but UMD played really well over the weekend against a really tough team. They earn an extra WCHA point in Friday's tie. Head coach Maura Kroll said there were stretches where the team played really well. Up next, the Bulldogs will travel to Hamden, Connecticut for the Nutmeg Classic. They'll take on Quinnipiac on Friday. In Division 3, the UW Superior men's hockey team continues to receive national votes in the national poll. They have a huge win over then third-ranked defending national champions UW Stevens on Saturday. They head to Pennsylvania to take on Chatham this coming weekend. It was a long, long night for Packers fans last night. The 49ers handed Green Bay their third loss of the season in a lopsided fashion on Sunday Night Football. Primetime, Aaron Rodgers was sacked 5 times while the defense surrendered 37 points to the San Francisco 49ers offense. The big star of the game was 49ers tight end George Kittle. Hey, I had him on my fantasy team. I haven't looked, but I'm sure I may have come close to beating someone, possibly. He played in the midst of a broken ankle injury. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur says, take a hard look at what happened.
We've got to be critical of ourselves, and every one of us, coaches, players, everybody involved, and figure out why this happened and make sure that it doesn't happen again, because I do feel like we have a lot of talented players, but it was bad ball.
The Packers will head to the Meadowlands next Sunday to take on the Giants. Finally, we will end on a high note. This past Saturday, if you were at AMSOIL Arena and happened to pay close attention to the penalty box, you may have noticed some players snacking. Your eyes do not deceive you. That is junior defenseman Scotty Prunovich enjoying licorice after a minor penalty in the second period. This was hard-hitting journalism on my point, because I took this video from the suicide boxes, which is between the benches. I noticed it from a few guys. I was like, are they chewing on some? Are they eating? Are they chewing on a mouth guard? No. I tweeted it, and then Scott tweeted back and just went, yeah, we're eating licorice. So
it's a good way to pass time in the penalty box.
Yeah, and then some other people said, I can confirm that there is chocolate in the UMD penalty box, so maybe they switch up every night.
You got to keep your energy up.
But the problem is, I was like, I'd be getting penalties. If I know there's licorice waiting in the penalty box, like,
just slash
everybody, like, put me in there, refs.
All right, thanks, Kelly. Well, a local woman is doing her best to keep children warm this winter season. Carolyn Zanko donated 72 pairs of mittens she knit along with several hats to Duluth schools. The school district posted this photo to its Facebook page showing off her generous donations. Zanko also donated 3 quilts. The district says last year she made a similar donation. All right, Dave, real quick, you're tracking a lot of business moving through the area.
3 low-pressure systems. Yeah. One's fading away, but still could bring a little bit of precip tonight, early tomorrow morning. Second one, after a calm day during Tuesday, comes around at night. Starts with a 30% snow chance, but builds up to a 90% shot on Wednesday. And it looks like we will have a winter storm warning for Wisconsin on Wednesday. Winter weather advisories possible for the rest of us on Wednesday. Calm for Thanksgiving, and then we could do it again Friday and Saturday.
All right, we'll be sure to keep an eye on those.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dave. That's the news for now. We'll see you back here at 10 o'clock tonight.